Can you imagine someone smashing a storm mirror because their reflection offended them? I swear, I never thought I'd see anything this wild with my own eyes, but there I was, standing in the middle of Serenity Boutique, watching chaos unfold like a reality TV show gone rogue. 1 second, folks were casually browsing racks of dresses, and the next, the air was pierced by the deafening crash of shattering glass. A woman, mid-40s, with a flawless brunette bob, stood in front of a pile of jagged shards that used to be a full-length mirror. Her face was twisted with fury as she bellowed, "This mirror is insulting me! It's a disgrace, and I demand to speak to your manager now." Security bolted toward her. A salesgirl fumbled for her phone to call 911, and I just stood there, jaw on the floor, witnessing the reign of terror unleashed by Evelyn Harper, the most dreaded HOA president in Willow Creek. Evelyn's reputation preceded her like a storm cloud. As the iron-fisted leader of our neighborhood's Homeowners Association, she was infamous for her clipboard patrols, slapping violation notices on doors for the tiniest infractions, a mailbox tilted an inch too far, a lawn gnome deemed tasteless, or a car parked 10 minutes too long in a driveway. I dodged her wrath so far, but I knew her face the moment I stepped into Serenity Boutique that afternoon. She was already laying into a sales associate about the window mannequins, her voice dripping with that fake sweet venom. "These figures are absurd, completely unrealistic, and frankly offensive," she snapped. "They violate our community's standards of propriety." The salesgirl, barely out of her teens, stammered, "Ma'am, our mannequins reflect real women's measurements. We're proud to show diverse body types." Evelyn waved her off like she was swatting a fly. "I know what real women look like, dear. I'm the president of Willow Creek's HOA. I set the standards." I pretended to browse a rack of blouses, but I couldn't peel my eyes away. The salesgirl shot me a tired smile and whispered, "Sorry about her. Some people just love to complain." I nodded, mentally vowing to leave a glowing review for her grace under fire. Evelyn huffed off to the fitting rooms, clutching a stack of pricey dresses, and for about 10 minutes, the store settled back into a fragile calm. Then came the shriek that could have cracked glass on its own. "This is outrageous!" Evelyn stormed out of the fitting room, still in a tight dress with the price tag dangling, her face beet red. "Your mirrors are defective! They're distorting my image on purpose." The manager, a woman with the patience of a saint, approached cautiously. "Ma'am, our mirrors are standard, high quality. They show accurate reflections for..." "Accurate?" Evelyn's voice hit a pitch that made me wince. "That mirror makes me look 20 pounds heavy and 15 years older. It's a personal attack." I glanced at the mirror. It was doing what mirrors do, showing the truth. The manager tried again. "We have an honest reflection policy, ma'am. Customers appreciate seeing how clothes really fit." That was the wrong thing to say. Evelyn's eyes blazed, and she started pacing, the unpaid dress swishing around her. "This is what's wrong with the world today. All this nonsense about honesty and body positivity is just an excuse to disrespect people like me who uphold proper standards. Do you know who I am? I'm the president of Willow Creek's HOA, and this kind of soul harassment would never fly in my community." A crowd was forming now, and I'll admit, I was part of it, pretending to study a scarf display while discreetly recording on my phone. Not to be a creep, but I had a gut feeling this was about to go nuclear, and EVY Denke might come in handy. Evelyn's rant veered into a full-blown manifesto about wokeness and optical assault. "These mirrors are psychological warfare," she declared to the stunned shoppers. "They're designed to crush self-esteem and cause emotional trauma. As someone who enforces community dignity daily, I won't stand for this violation of at least 12 HOA decency clauses I personally drafted." The manager, still calm, tried one last time. "Ma'am, if our mirrors aren't to your liking, perhaps another store would suit you better. Would you like to change back into your clothes?" What happened next was so fast, I barely processed it. Evelyn's face contorted, and in one swift motion, she snatched a heavy glass vase from a nearby table and hurled it at the mirror. The crash was ear-splitting, shards flying everywhere. Kids shopping with their parents started crying, employees gasped, and customers ducked as glass skittered across the floor, some pieces landing inches from people's feet. Evelyn stood there, smug, amidst the wreckage. That mirror was illegal under HOA moral codes, and I've eliminated it, as is my right as a governing official. This store will be shut down for VY defamation. I'll call an emergency board meeting tonight to revoke your business license. The absurdity of her thinking she, an HOA president, had any authority over a boutique miles from Willow Creek might have been laughable if it wasn't so dangerous. The store fell silent, except for the wail of sirens closing in. Someone had called the cops, and they were quick. 2 officers stepped inside, dodging the glass, as Evelyn suddenly switched gears, straightening up and adopting a tone of fake authority. "Officers, thank goodness you're here," she said, as if she wasn't standing in a crime scene. "I need to file a complaint against this store for VY harassment and reflection manipulation. As Willow Creek's HOA president, I'm an expert in code violations, and this place is breaking at least 15 regulations on honest representation." The officers swapped a look that said it all. The taller one, Officer Daniels, spoke up. "Ma'am, we got a call about property damage and disorderly conduct. Did you break this mirror?" Evelyn didn't flinch. "I removed a hazardous object causing psychological distress to customers. As a governing official, I'm authorized to address violations." Daniels didn't miss a beat. "Ma'am, being an HOA president doesn't give you power over private businesses. You're on private property, and witnesses say you vandalized it and endangered others." You could see the moment it hit her that her HOA crown meant nothing here. Her eyes widened, but she doubled down. "These mirrors are deliberately distorted to humiliate people. I was provoked by an offensive reflection. This is discrimination against those of us with standards." The second officer was now talking to the manager, who looked grim as she tallied the damage. From the officer's expression, it wasn't cheap. "Ma'am," Daniels said, "you need to come with us to discuss this at the station. The store's pressing charges for the damage." Evelyn's face turned crimson. "This is absurd. I was defending myself against VY terrorism. My husband dines with Judge Larson, you know. You can't arrest me over a defective mirror." But when Daniels pulled out his handcuffs, reality sank in. "You're seriously arresting me for breaking a mirror that defamed me? This is police brutality against a community leader," she shrieked. The officer stayed cool, informing her she was being detained for vandalism, disorderly conduct, and creating a public disturbance. As they led her out, still in that tagged dress, hello, possible shoplifting charge, she kept yelling. "This will be addressed at the next HOA meeting. I'll have this store condemned for mirror manipulation and emotional endangerment." Phones were out, including mine, recording every second. By that night, Mirror Lady was blowing up online. The boutique's security footage, showing the vase-throwing moment from multiple angles, spread like wildfire, and my clip of her arrest racked up thousands of VYUs. Memes popped up everywhere, Evelyn surrounded by glass with captions like, "When your reflection betrays you." What she thought was her moment of triumph had turned her into a national punchline. 3 days later, I got a notice about an emergency HOA meeting at the Willow Creek Community Center. Too curious to skip it, I showed up. The VYB was heavy as the VYC president, a retired lawyer named Thomas, opened the meeting. "As you may know," he said, "our president, Evelyn Harper, was involved in an incident that's led to serious legal consequences." He laid it out. Evelyn faced charges of criminal vandalism, disturbing the peace, and reckless endangerment because of the glass that nearly hit shoppers, including kids. The boutique pegged the damage at overdue loss $6,000 for the designer mirror, the vase, and the dress she'd wrecked, plus they were suing for business losses from closing for repairs. "The board has voted unanimously to remove Evelyn as president, effective immediately," Thomas said, prompting sighs of relief from the crowd. "Her actions have brought shame to our association and violated our ethical bylaws." Right then, the doors flew open, and in stormed Evelyn, looking frazzled but still furious. "This meeting is illegal!" she shouted, charging down the aisle. "I didn't approve this, and as president, I control all gatherings." Thomas didn't blink. "Evelyn, you've been removed by unanimous vote. Your presidency is over." He handed her a letter. "This decision is final. Also, our legal counsel says the HOA won't cover your legal costs, as your actions were personal, not official business." Evelyn froze, clutching the letter, her face a mix of shock and rage. "You can't do this! I've been president for 7 years. I've poured my life into this community's standards." Thomas was unmoved. "The courts ordered due law $8,200 in restitution for damages, plus possible civil penalties. The criminal charges could mean up to a year in jail, though your lawyer can discuss pleas." For the first time, Evelyn had no comeback. Her mouth opened, closed, and opened again, but the Queen of Willow Creek was finally out of words, left to face the wreckage of her own making.